All right, well, we're going to get started here. This is the first race in the qualifying round. So we've got our first set of 6 racers, and they're going to be in order from left to right. This is their turn order to start, and so that's reflected here on the track as well. So let's look at each one of these. We've got the inchworm here, and when another racer rolls a 1 for their main move, that racer skips that move and the inchworm gets to move 1 space instead. So every single one of these racers, if they roll a 1, they can't move, inchworm does. The romantic, when anyone stops on a space with exactly 1 other racer, the romantic will get to move 2 spaces. The leap toad gets to basically, when they move, they get to skip spaces with other racers on them. So that's pretty good too. Flip-flop, instead of rolling, they can skip rolling, and flip-flop can actually swap spaces with any other racer. Then we got the hypnotist. Before the hypnotist's main move, which is rolling the die, the hypnotist can warp a racer to their space. That's going to be kind of an interesting combo with this because the hypnotist is not going to want to do this power, which will allow the romantic to just move 2 spaces. So that's kind of, they'll have to choose when to use that very wisely. And finally, the hare. The hare gets to move +2 to their main move. But when they start their turn alone in the lead, they skip their main move. All right, so that is our 6 racers. We're going to do 2 races, 1 on the mile, and then 1 on the other side as well. And then we'll see whoever is first and second will automatically advance to the next round. And then we'll keep track of the other racers because in this whole thing, throughout the entire 36 racers in these qualifying rounds, the top 4 third place racers will get to advance as well. All right, let's get the race started. All right, inchworm goes first, gets a 6. That's a great start for inchworm. Romantic gets a 1. Now remember, when another racer rolls a 1, they actually don't move, and inchworm gets to move 1 instead. So great start so far for inchworm. Leap toad gets a 5. All right. Flip flop. Now flip flop can just decide to skip their move and swap spaces with someone, and they're actually going to do that. So flip flop has swapped spaces for their move. Hypnotist is up. Hypnotist gets a 3. The hare gets a +2 to their main move. They've rolled a 1, and so they actually get to go 3. Actually, you know what? Since they rolled a 1, you know, in that case, since hare gets a +2 to their main move, we're going to say this is a 3. Because they land on the same space as the hypnotist, the romantic now gets to move 2, because that's their special power. Whenever one racer lands on a space with exactly 1 other racer, romantic moves 2. All right, so that's the first bit of turns here. Inchworm now goes, gets a 5. They land on this space with 1 other racer, which means romantic goes 2 spaces. Romantic is up again. They roll a 1, they're not going to move, and instead inchworm is going to move 1. Leap toad gets a 6, and this is going to be quite a leap here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Flip flop is just going to do the same thing again. They're going to skip rolling and just take Leap Toad's spot there. Hypnotist is up. Now, does the Hypnotist want to warp a racer to their space. They can warp a racer to their space. And you know what? Since they're already on a space with another racer, they're not in danger of helping Romantic, so they're actually going to make flip-flop come all the way back here. And now they're going to go. And they get a 6, Hypnotist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now it is the Hare's turn. Hare gets +2 to their move, so they roll a 3, they actually get, that's a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Inchworm is up. Inchworm with a 2. They land on a space with exactly one other person. Romantic goes 2. Romantic's turn. Gets a 3. 1, 2, 3. They land on a space with one other person, so they go 2. Romantic is currently in the lead. Leap Toad now with a 6. That's huge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you know what flip-flop is probably going to do, right? They're going to make Leap Toad go back there, and they're just going to take that space. The Hypnotist now. Oh, you know what? Does the Hypnotist want to move anyone to their space? Not at the moment. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Hare gets a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inchworm is up. Gets a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Romantic gets a 2. Okay, 1, 2. They land on a space with another, so they go 2 more. 1, 2. They land on a space with another, so they go 2 more. 1, 2. Romantic is in the lead. Leap Toad is really all the way back here because of 1, 2, 3, 4, because of flip-flop. Flip-flop is up. Flip-flop is going to roll. Gets a 3. 1, 2, 3. The Hypnotist. Does the Hypnotist want to draw anyone to their space? No. Hypnotist gets a 1. They're not going to move. Instead, Inchworm moves 1. Lands on a space with one other person. Romantic moves 2. Land on a space with another person. Romantic moves 2. All right, so that was kind of interesting. All right, the Hare now gets a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inchworm. Whoops. Inchworm with a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lands on a space with one other person. Romantic goes 2. Romantic is up. I get a 3. Leap Toad now with a 4. Flip-flop is just going to be like, yep, yoink, I'm going to move you back like that. That does not trigger Romantic's power, I believe. We're going to call it that way. Okay, Hypnotist now. The Hypnotist is going to, yeah, they're going to warp flip-flop back to their space. Like that. I think that triggers the Romantic. You know what? And maybe I should have triggered the Romantic back here. I'm not sure, but we're going to go 4. That's 2 for the last move and 2 for this move. We're going to call it that way. Like I said, this is, if you like NFL football, this is just like that. Total chaos. Calls are wrong, and it changes games. And if you're happy with that, you'll love this. Okay. All right, so where were we? Okay, Hypnotist goes now. Gets a 1, does not move. Instead, Inchworm gets a 1. They land a space with another person. Hypnotist goes 2. Okay. The Hare now gets a 4. Inchworm is up. Gets a 4. Stops in a space with one another. Romantic goes 2. Romantic is up. Romantic is going to get first place in this particular race. So now let's see who gets second. Leap Toad, 1, 2, 3, 4. Flip Flop is, well, should they do that? Let's risk it. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hypnotist, do they want to draw anyone to their space? No. We're going to go 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the hare now. Oh, the hare actually got an 8. All right, so that actually finishes that race. And that's where it stands after 1. The furthest behind is going to be first up in the next race. So that will be, we'll start with Leap Toad. All right, so let's flip it over and finish out this first qualifying round. Okay, so on this side, anytime you stop on these star spaces, you'll actually get a point token, which will be nice for people who are, or one of these racers who are trying to build up their lead. They go on these trip spaces, they have to fall down and spend their next turn just getting up. This will send you backwards, this will send you forwards. So that is basically the gist of it. Leap Toad is up first. Flip Flop goes 5 and trips. Hypnotist gets a 2. Hare with a 5, actually a 7. And then they go 3 more. Pretty nice. Inchworm is up with a 2. They stop on the same space as one other person. Romantic goes 1, or Romantic goes 2. Okay. Romantic is up. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Stopped on one other racer and goes 2 more. Leap Toad with a 3. 1, 2, 3. Goes 3. 1, 2, 3. Stops in the same space as one other, and Romantic goes 2. Okay, so let's go with Flip Flop now just has to spend the turn standing up. Hypnotist is up with a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we've got the hare now. The hare, yes, the hare can go. Gets a 3, gets a 5 actually. And we're back at the inchworm with a 6. Romantic is up, gets a 2, and goes back 4. Leap Toad now, looking to make some big, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, goes back 4, lands on the same space as Romantic, who goes 2. Flip Flop now is just going to be like, well, you know what? The hare cannot go when they're in the lead. So they're actually going to swap spaces there with the Romantic. I don't believe the Romantic trips just because it's been moved there. But that's what's going to happen there. Hypnotist now. It's going to, will they move anyone to their space? No, they don't want to do that because it's going to definitely help Romantic to do that. So Hypnotist is just going to roll. You get a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the romantic will go 2, and now 3. The hare does not get to go because the hare is already in the lead. You know what? Can't see the board too well there, can you? The hare does not get to go because the hare is already in the lead, so they have to just wait. The inchworm is up, gets a 1. Romantic now gets to go, gets a 3. 1, 2, 3, and gets a point. That is going to help the romantic in their quest to win this qualifying round. Leap toad is up. Leap toad can really go here. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Flip flop is going to say, yeah, you know, you're going to come back here. And the romantic gets to go 2. And the romantic gets to go 2, and then trip. Hypnotist. Hypnotist is up. Gets a 1. Lands there. Romantic goes 2. It stops in the same space here. Romantic goes 2. Wow. The hare now does get to go and gets a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inchworm is up and gets a 3. Romantic. Oh, romantic just gets to stand up on their turn. Leap toad now looking to make some big. Oh, it gets a 1, 2 trips. Flip flop is going to move. Oh, they only get a 1, which means they don't move. An inchworm gets a 1, which gives inchworm a point. Hypnotist is up. Hypnotist is going to bring, are they though? Because they don't want to keep helping. Yeah, they can help the romantic by doing. Oh, they rolled a 1, which means they don't move, and inchworm moves 1. The hare does not get to go because the hare is in the lead. Inchworm gets a 3. 1, 2, 3, and trips. So the romantic is up. Romantic gets a 1 but cannot move. The inchworm moves that 1. Leap toad just gets to stand up on their turn. Flip flop is going to go 2. Lets the romantic move 2, and the romantic moves 2 more spaces. The hypnotist is going to warp a racer to their space. It's the romantic, and because they land on one with one other racer, they go 2 and trip. And now the hypnotist is going to go 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The hare is, oh, the hare can't go because the hare is still in the lead. The inchworm gets to stand up. The romantic gets to stand up. Leap toad is going. They got a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Big move for the leap toad there. Flip flop. Flip flop is going to swap spaces with leap toad, who probably hates flip flop by now. Hypnotist is just going to warp flip flop back, which will allow the romantic to move 2, and now the hypnotist will go 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then back 2 and land in the space with one of the racer, which lets the romantic go 2, which lets the romantic go 2 and 2. That was crazy. The hare is now up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 6, 7. Inchworm now gets a 1, lands in a space with one other racer. Romantic goes 2. Romantic, can they pull away with the victory? They will. Big win there. Leap toad with a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not quite getting there. Flip-flop is going to trade spaces with leap toad again. The hypnotist is going to bring flip-flop to its space and roll a 1. Whoops. Actually, they don't move because inchworm moves 1. The hare cannot go. The inchworm now gets a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and trips. Leap toad gets a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Flip-flop is going to trade again with leapfrog. Hypnotist now gets to bring flip-flop back to his space and go. 2, 1, 2, and back 2. That went nowhere. The hare can't go. The inchworm has to stand up. Leap toad with a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What a way to pull it out there in the end for leap toad. All right, so who's qualifying here? We've got romantic with 8 points. Leap toad with 2 total points. And inchworm and hare each with 1 point. So that is your first set of 6 racers going through the qualifying round. It is romantic and leap toad are moving on, and we'll figure out if any of the rest of the third place people will move on. So with that, we will put the romantic and leapfrog in our winner's circle, and later we'll be joined by others. See you in the next race.